Hello and welcome back to a new vlog, and my dog is whining at me. So I thought I would try to vlog this week because Sybils started last week, and my plan was to do at some point a reading vlog for the Cybils Awards reading frenzy that I'm going to be doing. If you don't know, the Cybils Awards is a awards for children's literature, and it's put together by bloggers and readers, and so they have a call for judges, and I applied, and I am now a Cybils judge, which is super exciting. I've been following them for years. Like, I've been aware of the Cybils for I don't even know how long, probably like 5 or 6, maybe 7 years. It's been a long time that I've been like keeping up with that. And so a couple of years ago, Sarah applied to become a YA judge, and I got to kind of live vicariously through her doing that. And I decided, and she convinced me, that I needed to do it too. So I'm a middle grade fiction judge, which means as people are nominating books, this becomes a reading list for me, and I have to read all the things so that I can judge and choose the finalists. So basically, I will be making like a short list of the books that I think should be finalists, and we'll end up coming together at the end of the reading frenzy in December and talking about our thoughts and narrowing it down to like 5 to 7 selections. And then the next round of judges will be reading those selections and choosing from that the winner. So it's very exciting. It's super fun of reading just all the things and coming up with my short list. I cannot share in my vlog anything that's on my short list. So like that is the rule. Like I can talk about all the things I'm reading, but I cannot tell you what's making my short list and what isn't. But we can still talk about the things. So I'm about to go make some tea, and then I'm going to check in on the database. So I'll let you in on all of that situation, sort of. I can't show you everything, but I can talk about it. So let me go make some tea, and then we can chat. Work with me. My house is absolute chaos. It's noisy, and I'm going to do my best to film in here, even though it's a little dark. It's gloomy weather. I'm working with the best I got here. So let's talk about nominations. So I do own some of the books that were nominated. I nominated a book, and that's a book that I own and have read. So I've read 3 of the books that were nominated already. So that's nice. It's nice to feel like you're a little bit ahead, but I know there are other people who, like, some of the judges are children's librarians and stuff like that, so they're way ahead of me, but it's fine. One of the books that got nominated is When the World Turned Upside Down, and this is by Kay Ibura. I bought this for my daughter ages ago because, I don't know, we saw it somewhere and she was interested in it. She ended up not really liking it, so I don't know. I'm going to try and give it a shot, and we'll see what I think. But this is contemporary, and it's about kids at like the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think it's about quarantine and that sort of thing. So I'm going to read it at some point, and we'll see. I own it, so it's not like I've rushed to read this because I have it. I'm probably going to prioritize things that I can get at the library because I'll have less time for that. I also own Lines of Courage by Jennifer A. Nielsen that I'm going to be reading. I'm excited for this though because I haven't read anything by her yet, but I keep meaning to. I think at this point I own like 6 of her books. I was especially interested in reading this because this is World War I historical fiction, and there's just not a lot of World War I historical fiction. I don't know why. It's just as interesting as World War II, but I feel like World War II gets a lot more books written about it than World War I. And it's really hard to find middle grade that's set during World War I. So some of you might know, I've been planning for years to write a World War I unit study to kind of go along with the World War II unit study I wrote for Build Your Library. And so I've kind of been earmarking this for that. So this is just going to push me to read it sooner. And we'll see what I think. I hope it's good. Another book that just got nominated, I was excited about, was The Lucky Ones by Linda Williams Jackson. I'm excited, mostly because I was already halfway through this book. I was reading it to see, well, one, I wanted to review it for History Book by Book, but also I was contemplating whether it would be worthy of a lit bite. I decided no. I don't think I'm going to make a lit bite about it. I just wasn't feeling it for that, but now I can finish reading it, and I was going to set it aside in case it didn't get nominated and prioritize other books, but since it got nominated, I'll pick it back up and finish reading. So I'll let you know my thoughts. This is what I'm going to be reading right now. Unrelated, but I'm also reading Dry by Neil Shusterman. This is a reread, nothing to do with Sybils. Just kind of letting you know what other books I'm reading right now. But I'm reading this to write a lit bite for it. So I've been wanting to do another high school level lit bite. And I had this in my level 9 pile and decided I wasn't going to add it to level 9, but I'm going to write a lit bite. So should you prefer this over another book, you can do this in level 9, but it's going to be a lit bite. So this is what I'm reading right now. And I'm like a little ways in. But it is a reread, and I do have the audio, so I'm thinking I'll get through it pretty quick. Will I finish it this week, though? I don't know. But I'm going to be trying to, squeeze in as much middle grade Sybils nominations as I can. And I'll update you guys as I go, so I can let you know what I'm reading and what my thoughts are. So I'm going to do my best. Vlogging for me is challenging because, one, my house is often kind of chaotic between the dogs. My husband's always home. My kids can be noisy, even though they're older. They still tend to there's always somebody doing dishes or playing with the dogs or, things that make a lot of noise. So it can be a challenge to find a quiet spot, even in my room sometimes. So between that, work, me just kind of forgetting that I was planning on vlogging, and my health, vlogs can be rough, but I prefer this method for some reason than trying to sit down and make a video just talking about my reading for the week. So I don't know. There's also something to it, some kind of feeling of chatting with friends throughout my week. It just makes it feel more like a conversation, even though you're not talking back to me, but if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll check back in when I have finished The Lucky Ones, and I'll let you know my thoughts. And hi, it's been 2 days since I picked up my camera to vlog. I think I kind of forgot I was doing this, but I did finish Lucky Ones, and this is by Linda Williams Jackson, and I really liked it. I don't think it would work for a lit bite just because there's a lot of talk about church and going to church and that kind of stuff in it, and I don't know. I just didn't feel like there was enough reason to make it a lit bite, I guess. I don't know. I might come back and reconsider that because the end of this book was really good. So this is set in 1967 in Mississippi, and we're following Ellis Earl, who is a little boy, and he's a huge family, and they live in poverty. And it's sort of about him kind of wanting to get his education so he can do better for his family someday, and the people in his life who help him with that. And a big part of the story is that he is chosen to go and go with his teacher to the airport to see Robert Kennedy, who is coming to Mississippi to kind of investigate the poverty there, to see if it's really as bad as a lawyer told him it was. And Ellis Earl is very excited about this and really thinks being a lawyer would be the thing that would help people like him in the community and that kind of thing. So it's a really good story. I gave it like 4.5 stars. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really well done. So I finished that. So one of the books that I've been kind of hoping would get nominated did. And that is Wishing Upon the Same Stars. This is by Jacquetta Namar Feldman. So now this is definitely a high priority for me to get to. I bought this ages ago, and this is about 2 girls who become best friends. I think one of them is an Arab Muslim, and one of them is Israeli American. So these 2 girls come from very different backgrounds, but also have very similar things in common. So they become friends, and it just sounds like it's going to be something that I love. So since this got nominated, I've kind of bumped it up my I need to read list. And like I said, I still need to read Lines of Courage, and I still need to read, well, I'm going to drop everything. Hold on. And I still need to read When the World Turned Upside Down. Now my dog came in here. He's going to start whining any minute now. So I've got these 3 books that I really want to get to. I also have some holds coming in at the library in a couple of days, so I need to go get those. Yes, we know you're here. I see you. So I've got a lot of reading to do. I'm going to try to write a review for the lucky ones today, so I can put that on History Book by Book. And I'm going to decide which book to pick up next. I'm also reading Different Kinds of Fruit by Kyle Lukoff on my Kindle. I have the ebook of that. I got an ARC and hadn't gotten to it yet. So I made that priority since it just came out a couple of months ago, I think. So I really needed to read and review it. So I'm reading that. I'm about halfway through, really liking it. It talks about a lot of LGBTQIA plus kind of questions and things that kids would think about. The stories about a girl who becomes friends with the new kid in school, Bailey, who is non-binary. And that makes Annabelle, the main character, really think about, like, what does that mean? Like, maybe I need to learn more about this, and talks about it to her parents, who act very freaked out about it, but they have good reason to. So there's a lot of stuff in here about things that I think kids would actually like be thinking and wanting to answer for themselves. So this book I think could be really useful to kind of dig deeper into these ideas and topics. So I'm really liking it. Like I said, I'm halfway through. I'm going to try to finish it today because I just want to be done with it so I can move on to other things. There's a lot of books to read. I think there's like somewhere around 65 books nominated so far, and I've read 7 of them, so I've got a lot of reading to do. So that's where I'm at right now with my Sybils. Within the first 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, I think it's been a week and a half since it started, and since I got started with the reading. So a week and a half into Sybils, and I've read 7 books. 2 of them I read, or 3 of them, I read months ago. So, yeah, I've got a lot of reading to do. So I'm going to check back in when I've read some more things, and I'll let you guys know where I'm at. Hello, it is now Saturday, and I didn't check in yesterday. I wasn't feeling great, but I did do some reading, and so I wanted to talk quick. I finished this morning. I read Falling Short by Ernesto Cisneros, and it was really cute. I picked this up at the library 2 weeks ago because I was like, I'm sure this is going to get nominated. He wrote Effrin Divided, which I know was a finalist a couple of years ago because I read it when I did my Sybils finalists reading vlog. So I really liked Effrin Divided, so I was interested to read this. It was not as good as Effrin Divided. Definitely not as hard-hitting, though there are some like subject matter in here that is pretty hard-hitting. It's just not done in the same way that the other book was. This is mainly about basketball and 2 best friends. One, Marco, is very short for his age and very academic and kind of nerdy and that kind of stuff. And his friend Isaac, who is much more athletic and maybe not as book smart, although he does show in the story that he is smarter than he lets on. And like, I thought it was a good story. I really liked their friendship and everything, but it didn't work as well for me, I think, just because of all the basketball. There was so much basketball. This is definitely a sports book. I would say if you have a kid who loves sports, this is a great story for them. Just, it wasn't really for me, but I still really liked it, and I gave it 4 stars. This weekend, I'm planning on reading Wishing Upon the Same Stars. This is a book I've been really excited to read, so I finally, I'm making myself pick it up. This is about 2 girls who become best friends, I think, over the course of the story. They're from very different backgrounds. One is, her parents are from the Middle East, specifically, I think, Jerusalem and, I don't know, Lebanon, I think? I forget now where her mother's from. And then she meets a girl at school when she moves to a new town who is Israeli American, and they become unlikely friends. And I just think this is going to be a really good story, so I'm excited to read that. I do have more books here that were nominated. I have to go to the library today to pick up a book that I had on hold. My hair is such a mess this morning. Oh my god. I have a book on hold that I need to go pick up, and I totally just spaced and I forgot the name of it, but maybe I'll put a picture because I was excited about that. So I have a lot of reading to do this weekend. Today is the 15th, so it's the last day for public nominations. So I'm hoping we get a couple more coming through today, and then it goes to publishing for the next, I think, 2 weeks. And so publishing and authors can nominate their own books and stuff. So we shall see. Currently, I think there's somewhere close to might be close to 75 books. There's something in the range of 70 to 75 books that have been nominated. I have now read, I think, 8 of them. So I've got a ways to go, but I'm going to go pick up at least one book today. I promised the kids we would all go to the library on Tuesday because I have another hold coming in on Tuesday. So we're all going to go on Tuesday to pick up books. So perhaps I'll do another reading vlog next week. I don't know. I don't know how frequently I'm going to do these. Perhaps I'll be more on top of it next time, and it'll be a more interesting vlog to watch. I feel like this hasn't really been that exciting of a vlog. But yeah, I'm going to go pick up books today. I've got some reading to do. That's basically my weekend plan. So I'll see you later. So I just realized I never finished my vlog. So here I am to do that. So it is now Monday. So just to kind of sum up, I read 3 books this past week. I read The Lucky Ones by Linda Williams Jackson, which I thought was really good. I think I gave it 4 stars. And yeah, then I read Falling Short by Ernesto Cisneros, which was a cute story, but very sporty and not really my thing, which, totally fine. Not everything is for me specifically, but I could see some children finding that book just like their favorite thing. His writing is great, so definitely worth checking out if you have a child who's into sports, particularly basketball, since that's a big part of the story. I finished Different Kinds of Fruit by Kyle Lukoff, which I ended up not really liking. I gave it 3 stars. It's fine. It's just not what I wanted it to be. It's not what I expected it to be, I think. And I would describe it as after-school special-ish and almost like info dumpy in a lot of parts, where it's just a lot of people sharing lots of information with each other and having these big important conversations, which, there was a lot of good information in that book, and I just thought the story was really lacking to bring it all together. But I can also see for some kids that book being really important to them. So, like, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. I don't know. I was very conflicted because I can understand what the author was trying to do. I just think it was too much. So yeah, those are the books that I read for Sybils this past week. And I don't know. I don't know how many of these reading vlogs I'm going to do. I could definitely see myself doing a few of them. If you like this, if you're interested in seeing more of my day-to-day reading, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do as far as maybe doing, I don't know if I'll do it every week, but doing some other weekly reading vlogs as the Cybils Awards reading frenzy continues. This will be going on through the end of December, so I've got a lot of reading ahead of me. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of content, and I will try to improve my filming because I feel like this is kind of a mess, but you know, I'm going to get the hang of it. Maybe if I do more weekly reading vlogs, I'll like get into a good rhythm. We'll see. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next reading vlog. Happy reading. Bye.